Hey everyone, this is Matt. We're going to be doing a quick talk here about Gran Turismo 4. Gran Turismo 4 is far and away one of my favorite games of all time. It was released in 2005 on the PS2, and it came out with first ever simulation competition, Forza Motorsport, for the original Xbox. This is really one of the big swan songs of the PlayStation 2. It's absolutely beautiful. It controls like a dream, it plays wonderfully, it's packed full of features. This screams of a game that somebody cared enough to put in the details. I picked this game up at its launch. I actually pre-ordered it, picked it up in the store in 2005. I've been playing it ever since. It's now November 2010. Gran Turismo 5 comes out in 4 days. So what I'm doing here is basically my fond farewell to one of the greatest games I've ever played. So I would go through and give you a tour of all the different features. This is Gran Turismo mode. This is where you do the simulation mode as opposed to pick up arcade races. I'd go through all the different features, but there really isn't the time. This is only a 15-minute YouTube video. This is the map screen. This is how you get to everything. Replay theater, view some replays. License center, yeah, one of the biggest controversies about Gran Turismo is that you have to get your licenses to play in races. It's really not all that difficult, doesn't take that much time. It's annoying for people who have played the games before, not so annoying to people who are new to the series because you've got to learn how to think controls anyway. Driving missions, these are a bunch of really difficult missions. If you clear the missions, then you get a huge lump sum of 250 A-Spec points each. I have not finished all of these. I cannot do the Mercedes Magic, One-Lap Magic Showdown on Nürburgring Nordschleife. Mostly because you have to sit there for 2 minutes on the start-finish line watching everyone take off ahead of you, and I just don't have the patience. Each of the events is held in one of these arenas. This is a special conditions event. These are dirt and snow and rain races, rally races, those sorts of things. And dirt and snow here are just the tracks. If you just want to go straight to the tracks and do a quick pickup race on one of them, you can do it there. Beginner events. This is where you start off. Thankfully it's close to home, so most people see this without having to scroll. This is where you come first, you get your cheap-ass car, head out to the beginner track, and do whatever you need to do. Professional, this is medium, difficulty, extreme, these are the really hard ones. The ones I haven't done, this is what's keeping my percentage at 93, are the endurance events. And these things are just insane. 4-hour Roadster endurance race. I don't have 4 hours to spare. 150 miles on the super speedway. This one is all about pit strategy. I don't really have the time to do it. 4 hours on Nürburgring Nordschleife. Theoretically, yes, I could just set up a B-Spec driver to do it. That's actually how I got the F1 car. I set up a B-Spec driver to do the 24 hours of Nürburgring race and set him up with a car in which he could not possibly lose. To me, that's not playing a game. That's picking something from a menu and you just leave your PlayStation 2 on for hours. Jukebox is a settings menu. This is where you come and you pick which songs you want to hear in game. Not every song on the licensed soundtrack is all that great. Some of them, and they do have a mix. They have rock, they have techno, R&B, house, and trance, different types of music, and I'm not a fan of all those genres. I mostly just kept the rock stuff on. Power and speed is, this is 2 tracks you can come to test raw power and speed. Driving Park test track is like Volkswagen's test track in Germany where they test the Bugatti Veyron. This is a gigantic loop with ridiculously easy bank turns so that you can get your car up to its absolute maximum speed and see where it tops out. Las Vegas drag strip is for testing acceleration in a straight line. There's no reason to come here. Let's be serious, there's no reason at all. Driving Park are a few of the Gran Turismo team's made-up tracks. their original circuits are the road tracks that the Gran Turismo team invented. So we're going to head out here in a car I've only used once before. I'm using it here just for the curiosity. And I think something that would be appropriate is we will send off Gran Turismo 4 with the first track you ever race in Gran Turismo 1, Autumn Ring Mini. I have to say, for a PlayStation 2 game, these load times are actually pretty endurable. They're not the end of the world. They're not perfect, mind you. Alright, let's hop out there and see how we do. This is Mitsubishi GSR2 concept from 1989, I think. I checked that, but it's really not worth it. You can look it up if you need to. I do remember playing this on the original PlayStation, original version of Gran Turismo 1, and thinking, wow, this game is really hard, because I was still trying to play it like Daytona USA. I was flooring it into every corner, thinking if I just did it right, I'd never have to release the gas, because that's how most arcade racers work. But this is the track that taught me that if you don't slow down, you're never going to make it around that hairpin. And of course, you've got to rub a little in these races. It may be a disadvantage to the series in general that there's no damage model, and that's one thing that Forza has over Gran Turismo. But by the same token, it's easy for beginners to jump into these races because you can just rub to your heart's content. There's no reason to worry about damaging your car, since making these passes is sometimes kind of difficult. Especially since you only have 2 laps to do this. Which it doesn't look like I'm going to do. Cheat a little bit, go across the grass. I'm gaining, but I'd need 10 laps to catch up at this rate. Oh well. Not bad for this little concept car. The tracks all seem so much bigger in Gran Turismo 4, and I don't know why. Just over previous versions of the game, it seemed like the tracks were wider, they were longer, you were going faster most of the time. But that race took 44 seconds per lap, which is about what I was getting in the original Gran Turismo. So I wonder if it's just my perceptions that changed, or if the differences in the engines have something to do with that. But I definitely remember these turns being being sharper in earlier versions of the game, but the track seems to be the same length. I don't know how they pull that off. It's a cute little concept with these fins popping up and down to provide extra downforce. I wonder if that actually works in real life. It's a concept car, who knows if they ever took it out on the track. Anyhow, not a lot of time in the video, so let's move on and look at something else. These little pickup races don't give you a lot of money, but when you're first starting out, it's important because you only start off with 10 grand. And you buy probably a really crappy used car. And if you can win a few races, you're kind of lucky, but if not, you're going to have to do these pickup races and try to earn a little bit of extra scratch to upgrade your car. One of the neat things that got a lot of hype is this photo travel mode. Let's just go to Beacon Hill here. You could take your cars, which these models were really impressive for the time, and you could head out to any of these locations, and you could take photos of your car, which I'm not sure if this is going to look even remotely good on a YouTube video, but here we go. And then once you've taken a photo, you can zoom in and get a good look at this. Now, let's face it, it's a PS2 model. There are going to be some deficiencies, but this is rendering above and beyond anything you'd actually seen on the PS2. So I'm going to return. I don't have a USB drive inserted, but if you had a USB drive inserted, you could then take that photo and save it to a USB drive, put it on your computer, use it as your desktop, or you could upload it to a website. Alright, so how about we go for a hot lap here on a real-life racetrack. Only got about 5 minutes left in the YouTube video, 4 minutes maybe, so let's not do anything too long. Let's do a drive at Laguna Seca. Laguna Seca is, of course, one of the most well-known tracks in North America. It's an American classic. It's known for a corkscrew on the back, well, after a back straight. This actually is the last corner of the race. Alright, here we are, front straight going towards the start-finish line. And you can see typical American track. It's got the grandstands. I'm not sure where this is, to be honest. I should know, but I don't. I always assumed it was in California, but I've never actually taken the time to look it up. This seems like a thing with American tracks. I need to actually find out if it's a tradition or not, but it always seems like the front straight goes into a 180-degree hairpin. Maybe I'm just thinking of that because I grew up going to Lime Rock Park every year, and that opens up with Big Bend. Well, I'm taking these corners way too conservatively. It's kind of neat seeing the advertisements in this game. I almost hope that those change in Gran Turismo 5 through internet updates, because one of the weirdest things in this are seeing advertisements on billboards for products that have come and gone. Like this has advertisements for the 2004 RX-8 on this track, which, you know what, you could actually get the car in the game, so that makes sense. But the New York track has advertisements for Sprite Remix. Remember Sprite Remix? I mean, I'm sure some of you don't. I'm sure some of you have no idea what I'm looking at, and you'll have to head over to Wikipedia to find out what Sprite Remix is, but I assure you it was a beverage, and it certainly did exist somewhere between when this game started production and when it actually launched. I don't know if it lasted all the way to the release date. So that's one quick lap of Laguna Seca. And there's my ghost car. I always hated the ghost cars in this game because I don't know of any way to actually turn them off or clear that data. But I always found them distracting. I have a hard time looking past that thing. And there we go, that's a slightly better corner. Gained a little distance on that guy. And that's way better. This is how you do it. This is how you beat Gran Turismo 4. You head out to a track with a car, you get your ghost set up, and you just keep trying to improve on it, corner by corner, section by section. Split times help a lot. Looking at other people's videos on YouTube have helped me before. But basically what you've got to do is you've got to plan your driving line and then refine it. Refine it over and over and over again. This is a corkscrew. This is an intense corner. But that's actually something that's not communicated very well in this game. Apparently that is sickeningly sharp in real life, and it's just kind of meh in Gran Turismo 4. I guess it's because you have absolutely no ability to feel G-forces in a video game. That's going to be it for me. Thanks for watching.